Happy Magical Monday or Magic Monday. I wanted to get on here and do our fabulous Disney craft today. I am not making a card today, surprisingly. Normally I make you guys a little card. Oops, sorry, a little card. Sorry, I'm just moving the camera just slightly. Normally I make you guys a card because those are like the main things I normally make. But I decided today to make a craft. So yeah, I wanted to do another craft. Hopefully you caught my videos that I did yesterday. I was making up for one of the videos is because the Minnie Mouse video was because I lost sound in the middle of the video. So I needed to redo that one. And then the other video was like kind of like a Halloween bonus for you guys because I just wanted to make like a Haunted Mansion card. I had made a Haunted Mansion card before, I think it was last year, but it didn't have current product, and I just wanted to show you how you could make a Haunted Mansion card with current product. And so I went ahead and redid a video this year for that as a bonus for you guys. So Halloween is probably my favorite holiday. I love Christmas too, don't get me wrong. I just love Halloween. I just find the sweetness of Halloween, not the gross side of Halloween, but the sweet side of Halloween. You know, costumes and candy and trick-or-treating. A little spookiness with some spooky movies, but not, you know, like where I'm going to have nightmares. So I try to balance it out. So today's ears are, they're actually probably what you would consider Mickey Mouse ears. Oops, my gargoyle is a little bent. He's not, there we go. He's normally standing like upright. Whoa! Oh, whoa, that's weird. What happened? Strange, I don't know why there's a flash. There we go. I accidentally pressed flash. I didn't realize I could turn the light on when I'm doing craft, so weird. So yeah, so these are Haunted Mansion ears. These are probably what you would consider like Mickey Mouse ears, because you can, there's no bow on them. And the back of them are cute too. It has 999 haunts, happy haunts, which I thought was kind of fun. And they glow in the dark, so that's kind of fun. So anyway, so that is our intro today. I'll go ahead and get started. And and hopefully now you can see my Halloween tree. I do a Halloween tree every year. It's lighted. I do a Halloween tree every year. It's a Christmas tree covered in Halloween ornaments, and even like Halloween's Disney Simpsons. Like, I don't know if you guys remember Simpsons, but they're like these little tiny stuffed dolls. And my little Minnie Mouse is super cute. Now you can see her. So anyway, I have it all lighted. I think I'll switch back to it being a black tree next time. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let me put my ears to the side here since I took them off. So I have my little, you know what, now that I know I can do that light, I might try using the light because I have a light on the bottom of my stand, but no, wrong way, wrong direction. There we go. I have a light on the bottom, it's on the bottom side of the stand here, but it's not very bright. But look at how bright it is when I press this here. That's like quite a significant little brightness to add to my videos. That's just something new. I didn't realize that I could do that with my phone. So these are my, I don't know if you've ever seen the Disney Nuimos. They're so cute. Well, last year they had these Halloween outfits on clearance for just like a couple dollars. I want to say they're like $3 or $4 each. So naturally I had to get it once. I guess they probably had them just in the parks because I had never seen them online. I just check out the Disney website sometimes just for fun. I don't always buy things on there. I just kind of window shop. But they had this cute little suit and this cute little witch outfit. Look at her little headband. It's so sweet. And I thought I had to show you my cute little, I took a picture of him. It's on my Facebook page, but I wanted to show you as well. So anyway, just because I thought that was fun. So I'm trying to get it centered. I had it centered the other day, but I'm having a hard time today. So yeah, so I just wanted to show you my little, they just sit here, and I change their outfits every so often. I don't always change them like all the time. So we're using the Design a Treat again. And we're using the Design a Treat again. And it's going to be using the bat wings again because it's Halloween. But we're going to, oh, maybe that's it. Maybe it's because I was too far out to there we go. There we go. Okay, just, it's funny. I had it perfect the other day, and then now it's like giving me a hard time. So, all right. So, so yeah, so I'm going to be using the bat again and then the treat box to show you. So this is what I did yesterday. So if you guys missed yesterday's video, I made this Haunted Mansion inspired, whoops, my little bat ears are coming off. My Haunted Mansion inspired little treat. And you can fit about 1 or 2 mini Reese's cups or maximum 2 Hershey's Kisses in here. It's a pretty small box. It's 1 1/4 by 1 inch. So it's not a cube. It's not 1 inch on all sides. So, but it's still the perfect little Halloween treat, you know? So I did this in the video yesterday. So if you guys want to go watch that, you can. It's super cute. So we're doing that again. I had been thinking about this project, which is why I redid it for you guys with current products so that you could make a card today if you wanted. Sorry I didn't think of it sooner, but Haunted Mansion for us Disney fans, you know, I don't know. We love Haunted Mansion all year round. So, all right. So now we have our gargoyles from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I'm going to talk about these here in a second. So if you actually look at my Facebook page, you'll see I posted a picture of them. Technically, all of the gargoyles are gray. Oh, and by the way, if you comment on my video, I can, I put you in for a drawing for the projects that I make, and I send them out. So just letting you know that, you know, if you want to be in on the drawing, you need to comment. And if you would like to share, you're more than welcome to share, but I'm super happy when you comment because that'll put you in for the drawing and, you know, it's just a little bonus. So when you look at the actual, watch the movie, and when you look at pictures of the 3 gargoyles, yes, technically all the gargoyles are gray, but they have different hues added to them to make them a little bit different. When you watch the movie, you can see it more. The fattest gargoyle, he actually has tiny, tiny wings. I almost cut his wings off because his wings are like really like little baby wings, yet he's super big and fat. And he has these really pointy horns. And then his name is Hugo. And this one is the other boy, and his name is Victor. So, because the book was written by Victor Hugo. So, oh, I'm glad. Thanks, Pat. So you have Victor and Hugo, because that's technically how, you know, the person that wrote the book, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, famous writer. He also wrote, no, he didn't write Les Miserables, did he? I might be wrong on that. But super famous. He likes to write really long books. Let's just put it that way. So the difference is that the fat one had the green, like really, he had like a green hue, like a mint macaron hue, which is why I used mint macaron here. I used gray granite for Victor because he is definitely like a gray. And I just wanted, but it's not super dark. He has a little bit of blue in him too, but we didn't have a blue that was gray enough. You know what I mean? I might have been able to use, orchid, but it just didn't look right. Or maybe a balmy blue. It had to be just a darker color. So, and then the last one is Laverne. Oh, and the difference here is that Victor has these little pointy, super tiny, he doesn't actually have horns, but his ears are super, super pointy. So that's how I made this one. And then Laverne is just normal. She actually, she has like a rose color added to her. So Fresh Freesia kind of lent itself because it's not necessarily pink, but it's not totally a dark purple. You know, it's this funny lavender, almost like a really light burgundy in a way is what rose looks like. So this was my interpretation, and I just thought it would be fun to do 3 little gargoyles using them as an inspiration. So let me go ahead and get started. The boxes are really easy to make. As a whole, they're super easy. So when you stamp your face, we're just going to use basic black to stamp. And when you stamp them, you're just going to choose one side to put the face. And the key is that you have to remember this is the bottom, you know, so the square in the center is going to be the bottom. So you're going to want to make sure your face is on this side or this side, because that's the side that's going to show, you know. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp all my faces. And I just chose to use the plain Memento, Tuxedo Black Memento ink on them. Cute. Done. And I have a trick. If you don't get a good, stamp, I use my black marker to fix it. Like this one has a funny stamp, just slightly. It's just a slightly off. This one also, just a tiny bit. Sometimes I press a little too hard on one side or the other. I don't intend to rock it. Like, you're not supposed to rock your stamp when you use it. You're supposed to just go straight down and up. And, you know, we're human, so it depends on... No, I'm not shaking today, but sometimes, you know, if you're a little shaky. So what you do is take your basic Stampin' Right marker, the black one, basic black, and you can fill in any of your like mistakes. So like it didn't stamp her full eye over on this side. So I'm just going to add the tiniest little black to make sure that both of the eyes are even. It's just small. It just adds a tiny bit. It's just a tiny trick to help you when you're stamping with something black. Sometimes if you're stamping something really small like this, you can just use your marker to fix the little spot that's missing. All right, so now we go ahead and we put all of our little gargoyles together. Now, I will glue one, or let me make one and show you that you don't have to glue them. These are so cute. So you fold all of the score lines in first. You fold this little round nub upward, like toward the face, because that one is not going to fold in. But all the others will fold inside. Okay. I don't recommend that you try to cut more than one box at a time, because when you cut more than one box at a time, the score lines are not as strong and not as stiff. So, all right. So what you're going to do is you're going to make these little short tabs. You're just going to fold them toward each other. And I just, oops, this one wasn't folded. There we go. And these round little tabs, I just hold them together like that. So I'm just holding the round tabs with my 2 fingers like that. And then I'm taking one of the long sides, I'm just pushing it through over my tabs. Okay, so it's holding it. Then I do the other side and push my tab down. Technically, oh, this one's not going to stay down. Technically, you don't need to add any glue to these at all. Because if I just add my ears or my bat wings to the top, it's going to hold everything together. Now, I wonder if that's the case when I do a bunny. Hold on. I know it will work when I do the bat wings. The bat wings will hold it all down. But I wonder if it'll do it when I have the bunny ears. So when you use the dies, it cuts out like bunny ears. It cuts out a reindeer ears. Let me see if this holds it down a little bit. Because sometimes just the force of the paper. Ooh, it's like really stuck. There we go. Let's see. So here's my ears. No, the bunny ears will hold it down too. So technically you don't need any glue when you're putting these little boxes together. Let me try it with the reindeer ears. It was just, you know, just a reindeer antlers. These are the antlers. And then there's little, technically little ears you can add to your deer. Let's see. I guess you could make, there we go. Or maybe not, maybe. I don't know, it looks funny to have the reindeer and the little ears. There's these tiny little ears you can add. So it's almost like maybe this one's the doe and this one's the stag, maybe. I'm not quite sure. But the ears actually are holding the box down. I mean, considering if I was to make a whole bunch of these, I would probably not necessarily want to glue them all super tight because of the fact that people are going to throw it away. It's just got a little piece of candy in it, and the effort it takes to glue it is, you know, going to be fussy. So, but the difference, you see the gap. You see how this one is held really nice and tight, and this one, there's a gap. Okay, and so that's the difference of gluing or not gluing. So just to let you know, just giving you that heads up. I'll go ahead and glue it to show you how I glue it. I take tear and tape. Now you can go ahead and use any kind of tape, any kind of glue you want. I am using tear and tape. When you're doing a 3D project, you tend to want to use a strong adhesive. So I like using tear and tape because it's really strong. The Stampin' Seal Plus is also very strong. There's also something called like a red line tape. They don't carry it anymore with Stampin' Up, but people can still buy it like on Amazon. It's like a really thick tape, but it's kind of hard to get the backing off, and so it's a little tough. So when you do the taping, you know, I mean, I'm going to be sending this to someone, so I want to make sure that it's nice and secure, you know. I'm just telling you, if you had to make a whole bunch of these, here's a tip, you know. And some people might want to save the box. Many people will not, but some people might. Okay. And so it's just, these are just sweet little boxes. I have to say I'm getting my money's worth in these little treat boxes. Okay. So now I'm on the last tab. Okay. So if I had folded in and glued down that side, what was going to happen is I was going to have to try and pull and tuck this in, this side that I haven't glued down yet. And what happens is that you could rip your box. So make sure all your tabs are tucked inward. Make sure they're all tucked inward. And that way, when I go to pull this one off, I'm not going to rip it as I'm pressing it together. So I don't know how I think of these crazy ideas for these Disney crafts, but I do. My brain just thinks that way. And you know, my dad and I were talking about my grandmother today, and she used to create our costumes for Halloween every year. Every year. I'm sorry, a little emotional. She died in 2020, and she had fallen down, and anyway, she passed away. And she was the best grandmother ever. And she would make all of our costumes, and I think that's probably why I love Halloween. And she was so good at it. Even when my mom and my aunt were little, she would make all of our costumes and all of their costumes, and she would win the contests every single year. They stopped having contests in their little town because my grandmother would win every single time. So it was funny how it became like this competition in a negative way. People got mad that my grandmother was so creative and would win. Okay, so I have all my little pieces and I cut them out at the same time. So what happens when you do these bunny ears? Here, it's one that has it. When you do these bunny ears, it leaves these little pointy pieces, and they were perfect for our gargoyle. Sorry to get emotional. I just miss her, especially at Halloween time. So these little pointy pieces were perfect for our the fat gargoyle Hugo, because he has these great little really pointy horns. Oh, that is not working. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'm getting my glue dots out. Okay, so you can use the glue dots that we sell with Stampin' Up, but because these are so small, you can use any kind of glue you want. I could even use a little white glue. I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of these stamping. These are from Paper Pumpkin, these little dots. And they're just small, and so they're small, and we have small pieces, so I'm gonna use these out of convenience. But of course you could use any glue. I could use the white glue even. I just would have to use tweezers and stuff to try and get the white glue to hold it down. Actually, I could do that actually. No, I'm just gonna use these while I'm thinking about it. It's just gonna be faster. I don't wanna waste our time, you know. And what happens is you take off the little backing and you kind of roll. You could do this with the larger glue dots too. And you just kind of roll the little dot inward. You see? So when I hold it up here, you'll see it's kind of folded. Whoop, I'm too far over. See how it's kind of folded over right there? And so it's just a folded over glue dot. And I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna press it onto, and I want it really pointy. So I'm pressing it onto the bat ear. Here, I can put it here. I'm pressing it onto the bat ear to make sure that it's super high. I don't want it to be short. Okay, put them in a little glue dot. And again, you could use the larger glue dots too. They're just bigger. And the white glue, you could use any glue you want. I'm just using these Paper Pumpkin ones. I have hundreds of these, possibly even 1,000. And I just want to use them up. And if it's convenient, I should use them, even in my videos. I wouldn't all the time, but I'm going to. See, Paper Pumpkin gives you supplies that'll last you even longer than your project. Okay, so you see it's super spiky horns. And so then I put this right back on my little gargoyle. We get the three little gargoyle, or gargoyle number 1, Hugo. The fat one is Hugo. Done. Okay. Oh, on this one I made them angled. I guess they're angled in the movie. Here, let me see if I can move them a little bit. I might not be able to angle them now that I put them down. Maybe. There we go. I thought they went straight up and down. But the other one I made yesterday, I was doing it when I was more calm, you know, so it was more focused. So I angle them out a little bit so that they're still super pointy, but just focused one way. There we go. And there we go. And see, they're hidden just a little bit. See, I actually wanted them a little bit more hidden behind the half circle, but it's good enough. I would actually put them in just a tiny bit more because I just want that half circle hidden a little bit more. You see how this one's not half, the rounded edge is what I mean, end. Okay, so there's our Hugo. Let's do our Victor, and we're gonna fold it. All the pieces, remember the round one goes inward, like toward the face, and all the others get folded inward. Everything folded inward. Okay, and we'll take a little tear and tape. So now it's just assembly. Very simple craft as a whole. I have to find the edge, it's kind of hard to see it. This light is very helpful on my phone. I didn't realize it had a light that I could use. Well, hopefully I just don't run out of battery. We'll see. It's a pretty short project. But it's cool that I can add that little flash. I didn't know I could do that with the phone video, with the video, I mean. I could do it with the camera, but I didn't think I could do it with the phone, the video. All right, so we're gonna take one side off and we're gonna go ahead and pop that nice and tight. It's interesting how the Disney animators are so specific that they even thought to color the gargoyles a little bit different. Instead of having them all gray, they each got a slight color. And I thought that was kind of wild. Jason Alexander plays the fat Hugo. And Victor is, I don't remember his name, but he was on Murphy Brown. He was like the super uptight, almost like, I thought it was Frasier. It's not Frasier. It reminded me of Frasier. The actor reminds me of Frasier, and when you hear his voice, it makes you think of Frasier. You know, that uptight, aristocratic type voice, you know. I forgot his name now, but he was on Murphy Brown. He was really famous when I was a kid on Murphy Brown. And so I have Hugo here, or Victor, and I pulled his little half circles. So I'm going to take his bat wings. The difference for him is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that I put his little, make his ears like super, super pointy, because that's how they were in the movie. His ears were like extra, extra pointy. And so let me use this as a little guide when I'm cutting. That'll help. Make them super sharp. It's just those little touches. If you're a Disney fan, you'll see that these little touches, oh yeah, that's it, you know. If you're not a Disney fan, you'll just be surprised I can find all this crazy detail in a Disney item. But that's okay. To each their own. Yeah, because I wanted this really, really pointy. There we go. And let me pop this one down. And so his ears are short because he doesn't have horns. Victor didn't have any horns on his head, which was kind of funny because I thought that all of them had horns, but they don't. So he has super, super sharp, but they're short horns. Or ears, but no horns. And then technically, I mean, because I felt like the bat ears actually kind of looked like horns. So the last one, I'm not doing anything to. Laverne was just really small, and her little horns were the same exact shape as the ears here. So, so we're just going to keep her simple. All right, I've lost my pieces here. There we go. Oh, I didn't slide that in between. Make sure you slide it in between the two circles because it does help. And just be gentle when you're putting the bat wings on. It does fit over the box. You just be a little gentle because sometimes you can bend up the wing if you're not too, very gentle. And so, all right, you fold all the sides in. Whoops. There we go. And I fold the circle toward the face. Okay. And then we just put a little glue down like we did before. This is fresh freesia paper, by the way. Hunchback of Notre Dame it was fun to watch it again. I haven't seen it. I think I've only seen it a couple times in my life. It's not really my favorite. To me, the story was kind of a weird story to tell in a Disney movie, but you know, it was fine. A little odd, but and there weren't any songs that made me like super excited. Same with like Sword in the Stone. It's fun to watch, but it's not really my favorite, you know. So, all right, so let me take off a side some of my glue went over the edge. Anytime you have glue that's going over the edge, just roll it back toward the rest of the glue. Putting the glue just keeps the box extra sharp along the edges. But as I was saying earlier in the video, you don't technically need glue to get these boxes to hold together, which is, in my opinion, ideal. Because if I have to make a bunch of boxes. Okay, and here's the tip again. Make sure you fold both of these inward, because you don't want to glue one side down and this is on the outside, because you see you're going to have to try and squeeze this in, but now it's already glued. So you have the potential of ripping your box trying to get this flap in. So make sure all the flaps are turned inside before you glue that last, the third side down, the third corner. And I just butt it right up to the edge. And so now I just get my, so if you're using wet glue, you just kind of hold off on putting glue on this side until the last minute. I'm gonna roll that toward, because there's a little bit coming off the edge there. You just get that little corner down and you're done. We'll put our little, she's the most plain little Laverne. The voice for Laverne was the crotchety nurse from Sister Act. Her voice is really familiar if you've seen Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg. And then gently, as you can see, it looks like it seems as if the wings won't fit. They do. It's just that they just barely slide on the edge. You just kind of have to gently wiggle them down and it holds down your box. There we go. I haven't had any rip on me. I have one that's a little bent on a Hugo here, but the only thing I would fix here on this one is I want to fix how the horn, because it's a little too high up. I don't really like seeing the bottom edge of these little horns. I want it to be a little hidden. So I'm gonna move it a little bit lower. Just a tiny bit lower, so that more of it's covered up. There we go. By that half circle. There we go. Done. Oops, still not covered up. I need to put it further in than that even. That should work now. I just didn't like the idea of seeing the edge of the, there we go. I just needed to put him a little further down. Okay, so here I'll show you. Look at how much further. They were like way up here, but now they're almost to the rib of the wing, and that's why I got them to be a little better placed. Because I want them to look like horns, not like weird little attachments, as if they weren't. Because they're covered by the half circle, now they look intentional. When they're not covered by the half circle, they look like they're not, like it's a mistake. And so, yeah. So anyway, like I said, my grandmother was really good at coming up with designs, and so I give her credit for anything I do pretty much, because she probably is the one that taught me how to do that. Oh, and when you're putting on your wings, make sure the little ribs are facing out. When you flip it over, there's no ribs on the back side. And so you want to make sure that your ribs are facing toward the face, you know, because that's the part everyone's going to see. So here's our Victor and Hugo and our little Laverne in the center. Cute, right? That's it. Very, very quick craft. I made 3 in not even 30 minutes because I talked for about 10 minutes in the beginning. So, and I took a lot of time to show you how it was done. So you could easily make probably 10 or more in an hour. probably more than 10, because if you're not talking and just focused, you know, putting them together. Now, it did take me a few minutes to cut all the little pieces, you know, to cut out all the little ears and I wasn't sure what I was going to use for the horns, and that's why I cut out these little antlers and these ears, because I just was debating on how to make them work with my gargoyles. And so that's why I have these extras. But oh, and you know, like I have this extra one here, so I could easily cut out more of these and put it on the back if I wanted, or I could stamp something directly on the back, you know, for you or from Jen or something, write a note, something, you know. So that's it. Those are our little craft. That's it. Easy peasy. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so glad you guys got to tune in for my little Hunchback of Notre Dame inspired treats. They're so cute. These are just the cutest little boxes. They're just so perfect for a gift. So I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys, and I'm so glad that you guys support me. Be sure to comment, and I can put you in for a drawing for the cards that I make. So, all right, thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.